What's up, guys? Welcome to Unscripted Kitchen, where we create unedited and unscripted recipes for everything in the kitchen. Today we are going to be making some coral tuiles or lace tuile. You probably have seen some of these before, wondering how you make them. If you're looking to, this is going to be the video for you. We're going to go through it step by step. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it so you can see it from start to finish. So let's go ahead and get started. The ingredients super simple. 3 things: water, oil, and flour. We're going to be using room temp water, veggie oil, and all-purpose flour. I have it written down in ounces. You may see it in grams, which, depending on what you're more familiar with, either one works just fine. Also, I guess, depending on the scale that you have. We're going to be using a digital scale, a squeeze bottle, as well as a frying pan. I already have mine hot on the stove. About medium temperature is perfectly fine as long as it is already at the temperature before you start putting any kind of a mix into it. So let's go ahead and get started building it up. Make sure you are zeroed out, which we are, before you start adding your ingredients so you can accurately see what you are doing. I already have my water measured. This is just right out of the sink. Put it right in there. 3 point. There you go. Spin a little bit on the bottom. Putting our water in first, and then we're going to add the oil to bring it up. Zero it back out again. Just keep zeroing it out so then you can kind of keep track of the amount that you're looking for. It's a pretty good amount of oil. So we are at 1.2, 0.3, 0.4. And of course, the flour, which is actually the least ingredient in here, 0.3. So we're going to go ahead and zero it out one more time again. And we're going to put the 0.3 of the flour right in there. I just do a little bit at a time. Once you put the flour in, if you put too much, not exactly easy to take it back out. So, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Give it a good shake. And we'll start getting them going. Just going to put it straight into the pan. You can already see the pan's nice and hot. Now, I use a lid. You don't have to use a lid. But what I can tell you is that if you don't use a lid, this whole entire area around here is going to be covered in oil. So if you're looking to keep it down to a minimum in the splatter, I would cover it. You keep an eye on it. You don't want it fully open. You want it to have air so it can breathe. You don't want it to suffocate. It will take longer if you do that. Keep an eye on the temperature. It should be roughly around the medium temperature, but you want to make sure it doesn't get crazy hot. Now, this process does take a few minutes. There's a lot of videos out there, especially a lot of fancy looking edited videos where you see it and magically 10 seconds later, it's already done. That is not the case. That is not how long these things take. They do take about 3 minutes-ish on average, depending on the temperature, how big your pan is. So you have to have a little bit of patience. They're not as quickly done as they look in the videos. So that's why we do make these videos, so you can actually see how it truly happens, from start to finish. I may mess up, I may not. If I do, maybe you'll learn something and maybe I'll learn something, but hopefully you get a little something out of it and it can help you out in the end. So you can see it's almost getting there as the oil just starts to go away little by little by little on the side of the pan. You don't want to mess with it too much. If you start moving it around, what's going to happen is you're going to start making different patterns, unless that's what you're trying to do. But you can see here it's getting there. It's getting there right on the end here. We're just waiting for that oil to kind of bounce out in the very end side over here. While you're making these other variations you could be doing, you could put food coloring in there, which a lot of people do because it has a nice look to it. That's no problem. Just be very careful with the amount that you're putting it in. You don't want to vary this recipe too much. If you start changing this recipe, it will not work out in your favor. Go ahead. Now, kind of free it from the pan a little bit here. It's pretty much just about done. Now that the oil is stopped crackling and simmering, you can see it's pretty much ready to pull out. There is that excess oil. I save mine, and I use it for other frying applications. The oil is clean. It's only been used once. That's nothing. So you can hear it, or you can't hear it because now it's actually all done. That's a good sign that it's ready. So I'll go ahead and just pop it right out, and that's it. Let's bring it right out of here. I already have a little setup going on over here where you can see for it to kind of dry, and I usually just do a little pinch of some sea salt right over the top. Not a lot, but just a little bit. You could obviously flavor them and color them however you want to your liking. But for me, this is pretty much the way I like them. Very simple. They crisp up within about 10 seconds of being outside of the air. They are pretty fragile. You can break them and make them have different unique looks to them. But that is pretty much it. You can put this into the pile and keep making the rest of them. They're all going to be a little bit different, just like snowflakes. So that's it, you guys. Once again, there's the recipe. Give you one more shot of that. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good one.